Well, the flex is looking a bit tired. We did have some issues with it. We've had some spikes in there. We had a stalled cycle, so I've dealt with some stuff and hopefully this is going to be a lot better. As you can see, it's extremely grubby in there, but the water chemistry is perfect. It's perfect for a cycle, so I've put a used sponge filter in there just to make sure everything's going as fine. Fish are doing really well. These are a couple of hybrids that I've taken out of the Tetra tank purely on the understanding that I want to keep the cycle going with obviously an ammonia source. An ammonia source will be their urine and their poo-poo, so hopefully that will keep that going. Plants are doing well. Anubias has grown a couple of new leaves, and the 53B is doing extremely well, so I'm going to leave that. I've put that in there because there are shrimp in there. I noticed some baby shrimp in there earlier, so we're going to leave the shrimp in there to do their stuff. I've stirred it all up today purely to get the water out and get as much detritus out as possible, so that's why that's looking a little bit sorry in there, but all in all it's looking okay. I will be testing out some lights, and hopefully when I can get down a fish shop, we were going to be actually purchasing some fish. I haven't done that for a long while. Most of these have been rescue fish. So the next tank I'm going to show you is going to be the Tetra tank, which we have a lot of new updates going on in there, so bear with me. Well, as you can see on the Tetra tank, there is a lot of life going on in there, and I have been looking at the different types of fish that is that's been spawning. They all are hybrids. If you look closely at some of these, you'll notice them darker than the others, even at small. There you go. I don't know if you can see that. There's shrimp everywhere in here. Still get some snails in there, but my assassins are doing their job. It takes a while. Don't expect results straight away. There is, I don't know if you can see on that leaf there, there is a bubble nest, which I'm not sure which that came from. I did have a better in here for a little while. Unfortunately it passed, but I don't know if it left a nest behind. We'll have to wait and see. I'm pretty sure they do that at the surface of the water rather than on leaves, but we'll have to wait and see what that is. It's been there for a couple of days now. As you can see though, there are lots and lots of babies in here. Lots of shrimp too, which is doing well. Pandas are looking great. They're everywhere, the pandas. They just love to go everywhere. So that's good. I don't mind this this sort of substrate here either. But I'm interested to see what we've got coming out of the mix here. There's a couple that are starting to show colour, which are basic sort of small guppies. They're not endlers, they're not guppies, which is what I'm going for. These will be the breeding stock for the next lot, which is going to be something I hope will be able to function soon. I want to feature that as soon as possible, and we can function it as soon as possible as well. So there's your update for this tank. As you can see, there's an assassin. Look, they're great. You ever get a problem, just get a couple of assassins. They don't breed that well, so you know, once you've done, you're done, sort of thing. There's a Gendler. You see the colour, but the tail's slightly off, so not sure. But that one there is going to be a Gendler. It's going to be very similar to some of the others we've got in here. So I'm kind of hoping that we can get a stock fish going, which is going to be, I mean, like that one at the back there, it's a chromium colour. There's a proper Gendler there. So there's the update for the Tetra. We're going to go on to the Roma next. Bear with me. Look at that. It is so clear, this water. I'll put that down to having the nitrate filter working. Oh, hello. Hello. Right. As you can see, coming to the end, the biotics that I've put in there, that's to condition the water for these guys. I'm hoping to get, as I say, cichlid tank this is going to be eventually, and I'll be moving some of these plants out. The Nubius is going crazy. See the end of the stalk there? Look at that. That's great. Which I will be able to propagate to another piece of wood. Same as this one here. And there are little baby shrimp on there. There you go, starburst, or whatever they're called, sunburst, I think they're called sunburst plates. I've left that quite congested with plants. And I've got to say, there is just the water conditions in there, the quality of the water is perfect. And remember guys, it can be cloudy, it can be green, it can have algae in it and still be ideal for fish. So don't be disheartened when you see that. Yes, it's a little bit unsightly, but hey ho, we can get on with that. You know, you've got to make sure that you know what's going on in your tank first. Easiest way to do that is by testing your water, and test your tap water before you do your water change. Now, with the dwarf cichlids, I'm hoping to get a couple of different types, and I'm going to put them in probably what I'm going to call the den, which is the other 60 litre tank that I have. I'm going to see how they get on there just as a pair. I want to see if I can get them breeding. I'd like to do a series on breeding those, which is quite cool. There's a single ram there because I say before this happened outside in the real world, we did have some issues. Now we have got a spot on that tank. You see that? And there's also one on that fish. Now the fish, I'm pretty sure, is damaged. Something's had a go at it, which the swordtail seems to be around this a lot, and I'm not sure why. And obviously we had one of these, but that's gone as well. So when we've cleared this tank out, remember, all my fish go to good places. Don't get me wrong. I never get rid of cull or anything else. They all go somewhere, trust me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably do the same with these when this is all uplifted. So I'm going to do a nice bedrock system in this. It's going to take a couple of days, so I'm going to sort of walk you guys through what I do and how I do it and why I do it. But this Roma is looking fantastic. Again, I'd like to say hats off to the TNC. Hello. The hats off to the TNC stuff, because that is a really good quality. And I do believe there's an Otto at the back on that. I don't know if you can see that. So we're going to have a look at that. It's a nearite snail. Right, so we're going to have a look at the den next. Now there's no fish in the den, but I want to show you how everything's starting to mature in there. We're a few weeks now, probably 3-4 weeks into the cycle, and tested the water this morning. We're still a little bit, I reckon another 2 weeks before it would be ready for fish anyway. And what I normally do is pop a couple of fish in there when the cycle's sort of nearing its end, just to keep the cycle going. So let's have a quick look at the den. Okay, so this is the den, a Denero 60 litre. Did have some issues to start with, as you guys know. This substrate is magnetic, which isn't very good when you've got a magnetic filter. Yeah. Anyway, saying that, you're going to get some hairs growing on the wood. That's completely natural. Basically that happens when you submerge something in water after a period of time. Now this has obviously been in water because it was cultivated with an Anubias stuck to it. Now most people use glues or something like that. I never use anything like that. I have put some food in here to try and neutralize the cycle. The reason is that the cycle wasn't working properly with the ammonia and that. I believe it's the filter. So I'm going to give this another week or two, and hopefully we'll get some results from the filter. It's an OAs or ORs or whatever you want to call it filter, internal corner filter. Not impressed. It does have a built-in heater, which is an advantage, but to be fair, I can hide the heater very simply. But we're going to see how that goes with that. Plant is doing well. The Nubius hasn't really moved that much. There is sign of a plant there which has a flower on it. Now there's no fish in here, but as you can see the quality. Now as you know, with all my tanks I tend to put a very deep bed, 3 inches ish, same as this one. As you can see, the reason I do that is I want to cultivate bacteria of 2 types, aerobic and anaerobic. Aerobic obviously has oxygen in it, or anaerobic no. and the one that sits in the sand or in the gravel or in that will get rid of nitrate, hopefully. Now I'm kind of two thoughts about what's going on in this tank, but we will see some updates later. If you've got any ideas, I do like the corner. That's a brilliant. I did get another light for it, which was absolute rubbish, by Superfish. Absolute rubbish. Yeah, it barely illuminated anything. But hey, so there's the update for the fish room at the moment. Obviously we're going to get a bit more stuff in here soon, and once we propagated some of these guys, oh look, rainbow, doing quite well with the Tetras. I'm going to open it up a little bit more, and we're going to have some nice cichlids in there. That's the Roma 240. Okay guys, thanks for watching, be safe, take care.